Hey, what's up? It's Paul. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you step by step how I was able to complete my first wholesale deal ever without spending any money on marketing before I even had a cash buyers list. If you're new to the channel, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. This is where I share tips and tricks to help you close more wholesale deals while documenting my journey to seven figures in my own business. So ever since I first read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I just knew that I wanted to be in real estate, but I always thought that I needed cash or credit in order to buy rental properties and do fix and flips. But then one night I was on YouTube and I was listening to a bunch of different podcasts and interviews, and I came across a video on wholesaling. And then I just went down the wholesaling rabbit hole and discovered guys like Flipman and Max Maxwell and Brent Daniels and Jerry Norton, people like that, who put out a lot of valuable content for free all across YouTube. So I dug deep in YouTube University and I just became obsessed with wholesaling, which I believe is important. If you want to start wholesaling, I think you have to become obsessed, because if I didn't have that burning desire to complete my first deal, I don't know if I would have actually completed my first deal. So because I became obsessed with wholesaling, I started taking action and trying different things. At first, I bought 100 bandit signs with my cell phone number on them. Didn't really work, didn't get a deal from that. So I started handwriting letters. And that's actually what led me to my first deal. I would handwrite letters on a yellow piece of paper. They actually looked exactly like this. I would go out, drive for dollars, pick out ugly houses that have broken windows or they're boarded up or junk in the front yard, houses that look like they were in distress. I would leave my note on their doorstep, and I would put it in an envelope like this, and I would leave that on their doorstep. Eventually, I got some calls back, and I'll never forget the one call that led to my first deal. It was actually a call that I received on a Saturday morning when I was at the gym running on the treadmill. I was half stride and picked up the phone and said hello. And this guy on the other end said, "Hey, I got your letter and I want to sell you my house." So after that, I set an appointment. Keep in mind, I didn't know anything about ARVs or how to run comps or how to determine repairs. I really had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even have a contract to use. In fact, in order to get my contract, I went to, I think it was Max Maxwell's Wholesaling Elite Facebook group and got a contract out of the file section there. And, just set an appointment and went and tried to figure out why he wanted to sell it and how much he wanted for it. Turns out the reason why he wanted to sell a property is because he went through a divorce. His ex-wife and the children had moved out, and he was in this 4-bedroom house all by himself. He couldn't make the mortgage payment anymore. It was just too much for him. So he just wanted the mortgage paid off. So signed an agreement for the mortgage payoff amount, which was $82,000. And then I took this to another wholesaler in my area who was crushing it and said, "Hey, I just told this guy I'm gonna pay him $82,000 for his house in cash, knowing that I don't have any money in my own bank account." So he looked over the numbers and asked me about the repairs. I'm like, "I don't know how much the repairs cost." And he told me, "Well, you'd be surprised how far 25 grand will go in a house." So he looked over the numbers and said, "Yeah, it looks like a good deal. I think we can sell it for $110,000. So he sent it out to his buyers, had his buyers come walk through the property, and sure enough, they agreed to buy it for $110,000. So at that point, I was making a $28,000 spread. But once we had the contracts from the seller and the buyer, the seller actually called me up and said, "Hey, do you think you can give me a little bit more money to help cover my moving expenses and cost of living and stuff?" So I said, "Sure, how much do you want?" He asked for $2,000 more, so we gave him $2,000 extra. changed the purchase price to $84,000, leaving us with a $26,000 spread in between. Not long after, we closed the deal. I think from start to finish, between the time that I came into an agreement with the seller and the buyer, it was about a month and a half, and really didn't have any problems come up. The only thing we needed to do was get the buyer's appraiser in the property so we could get the hard money loan just to cover the cost of the purchase price. But other than that, I gotta say it was a pretty smooth deal. We closed, I got paid, the sellers were happy, and my JV partner, the other wholesaler that I was working with, gave him 50% of the deal just for showing me how to close the deal. And one thing that I suggest whenever you're working with a JV wholesaler, somebody who has more experience than you, is watch and learn. Listen, ask questions, use that as an opportunity for mentorship. A lot of people will ask, can I mentor you, or can you mentor me? Stuff like that. But the best way to go about mentorship is to add value by bringing them a deal. So that's what I recommend. As far as what my letter actually said, it said, "Dear John, space, I would like to buy your house at 123 Main Street, space. If you have any interest, please contact me to hear how I can make a fair cash offer as is and close quick, space, respectfully, Paul Logston." Then I put my cell phone number and my email address. Don't really know why I put my email address, but I did. Pretty simple. It wasn't easy. Did take a lot of handwriting. I probably wrote 1,000 of these letters. One question that I get a lot is, what's the number one piece of advice, or what's the best piece of advice you would give to someone starting in wholesale real estate, or who wants to get started in wholesale real estate? And I would say, become obsessed with this business. Have a burning desire for success. Become obsessed with getting your first deal, learning more, and being the best in this business. Become committed, become determined, be relentless, start taking imperfect action no matter what. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know everything. Don't enter analysis paralysis where you think that you have to learn everything and you have to have all the details and you have to know it all before you can do anything. Learn on the go. Experience is the best teacher, and failure is the best teacher. So fall on your face a couple times, but pick yourself back up and learn from your mistakes. See where you can improve. Take immediate action. Fail forward, fail often, fail fast. It's not about what action you take, but it's about the fact that you are taking action. But anyway, if you appreciate this content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Show some love in the comment section. Let me know where you're at in your journey and what else you would like to see, or what kind of questions you have about wholesaling, or what's holding you back, what's stopping you from getting started or completing your first deal. But that's all I got. Until next time, deuces, stay up, stay persistent, and let's get it.